video. So in this video I'm gonna give you a brief tutorial on how you can use Inpixio. So Inpixio is a photo editor. It can be used to erase backgrounds, and basically its whole interface is built around photo editing. So it's a photo editing software. So if you want to get Inpixio, there will be a link down below this video. If you already, I'm assuming that most of you already have Inpixio and you don't know how to get started, this is going to be a beginner's tutorial, and I'll make more follow-up tutorials on Inpixio and its features, how to use them, and how to navigate around the software. So I'm using Inpixio project 10 or version 10.4, which is the pro version. So you will be able to get that through the link in the description. So once you've loaded up Inpixio, it will look similar to this. So this is the first screen you see. So right now we are running the photo editing icon, or the not the photo eraser or the cutter. We are running the photo editing icon. So we're gonna be editing our pictures. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on that, and it should run up in the. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna load up the sample template. It's one of the samples they have for us in their software. So this example, I'm gonna use a simple image that we can play around with. So I'm gonna choose this one right here, and it has loaded it up for us. So I'm gonna explain all the features from top heading down right to the bottom. So right here we have the undo button. So if you want to go back, you can click on this one, undo, redo, save. Then this is to print the image if you have a printer connected to your PC or anything like that. So that is a helpful feature if you're printing your images. Let's say you're writing a magazine or anything like that, Inpixio can do that for you. Then they have a bunch of sizes and formats that you can choose. So if you want to change the image to this format size, you can do that. And do so they have other format sizes you can choose here in the drop down menu, vertical. But for this example, we're going to keep it simple and basic. So right here you can see that you can share the image you have just edited or taken pictures, and you are now editing. You can send it by email, you can send it to the wire photo cutter, then cut out some backgrounds. Inpixio is just great, so you can play around with that. So you can share it on Twitter and Flick if you have a Flick account. So you know Flick is a huge platform for photographers, so if you're not there on yet, you should get on that. So if you want to turn on the auto correction, you can go ahead and do that. It will automatically correct and edit the image for you, so you don't have to do much of the editing. So if you want to turn it off, you can just do that. But for this example, I'm going to turn it off. Then we're going to move on to the menus on the right. So right here you can see that you can give your image a headline, description, whatever you want to do. So for this example, I'm gonna, right here you see that we have the sizes or the formats available. So you can see that you can crop them in different formats: 5 by 4, 7 to 5, sorry, 16 to 9, which is similar to the YouTube format. Let's say you're doing a YouTube thumbnail and you're editing it in Pixel, you can do that here. Then to see how each of these formats work, you can just click on them, and it should allow you to edit that by just dragging and draw and pushing this icon in the left or right or at the edges of the picture. So you can crop it. If you don't want to crop, you can crop at an angle, it will rotate it that for you. Then everything is just simple and drag and drop. So for this example, I'm going to keep it basic, and we're going to cancel that. Then we're going to go back to the main menu. So you can see that we are now on the filters section. So filters, which is this icon, like a sample, the presets they have. So you can add the blue wash, that will add like something, the cool breeze, and like cool colors or images. If you know photography, you don't even need to know photography. So you can see that they have a bunch of images here, and they will show you how it will look like on the real image. So you can play around with the fonts and everything like that. So for this example, I'm just gonna keep everything basic and straightforward, so you can play around with the features and the samples they have there for you. So you can choose to create your own presets. So once you have some experience in photo editing, you can create your own presets and save them here so that you use them for later. So I'm assuming most people are beginners, so we're not gonna go deep into that. So right here we have the adjustments. So if you wanna undo the edits you have made, you can just go ahead and do that, and it will take it back to the original version. So we have here the adjustments. So you can play around with the temperature if you want it warm, or if you want it cool. You can make it cool or warm depending on your taste and preferences. So for this example, remember we kept the auto correction off, so we don't want Inpixio to limit our creativity when we are editing our pictures. So you can play around with the hue. So the hue is basically like a color that comes over the image, and it transitions from the left or right to left. So that's just a simple photography knowledge that you can have in your bag. So the exposure is how clear the image is and how visible it is. So if you want it to be less visible, you can drag it to the left, and if you want it to be more visible, you can do that. So the contrast is just how the image is balancing with the black and white, or the color and the darkness. So you can play around with that too. The blacks are just simple. It's similar to contrast but and exposure, but it gives you more creativity with your images. So the highlights, you can just play around with those and see if the image fits your taste and style. So the saturation is how the image is appearing. Let's say you wanna change up the color fonts, the effects, you can play around with the saturation and turn it up and down to see if you really like it. So for this example, we're gonna move on down here to the tone curves. So the tone curves are just how the image is aligned. So let me try to drag this for you and see. So you can see it changes here. So if we drag it and see, you'll see that the tone is changing. So the image is changing light the light and the darkness. So if you drag it here, it's starting to fade out. Hope you see that. So you can do the RGB, red, green, whatever. If the image has these colors in them, then this is when you use the tone curves. If it doesn't have any red or green, don't use that. So this example, I'm gonna undo all the edits I've made and go back to the original version. So they have then we move on to this feature here, which is the selective retouching. It allows you to do some more edit on the image and play around with it. So the linear gradient is how the image is similar to what I've explained before. You're just playing around with the colors and images. This you don't need to worry about. Mostly you're going to be dealing with the cropping. If you are new to photo editing, you'll be using cropping, and you'll be using the the color viginating. This you don't want to. You may use the blurring. Let's say you're blurring out specific parts of the image, you may use that. So, and let me give you a quick tutorial on how to use the blur. So you click on the FX right here. It should pop up with this menu. So you see here we have creative blur. So this is where you can like you see the first icon here. There is no blur enabled, so you need to click onto the next one. So if you want to blur on a horizontal scale, you can do that by using this menu. You can shift it left, right, whatever you want to do. But if you want to blur in a circle format, you can use this circle format here. Then this one gives you more room to play around with the blurring. So if I say you want to blur and keep a specific part of the image, not entirely the whole image, so you can use this on the extreme right. But if you want a radial blur, you can use this one. So Inpixio is great if you're just starting out, and it has the basics of photo editing in one. So that is the blurring. To blur anything out, you click on this blurring feature, click on the feather if you want to see how it will look. So for this example, we're gonna blur the entire background except this. But then what we're gonna do is we're gonna drag this all the way so that the other sides that are blurred out are completely unclear. So you can do the 100%, you can do 50%, and see how it looks for your image. So play around with that. Then the bokeh brightness is the same as the exposure or anything like that. So if you wanna play around with that, you can just drag and see how it looks for your images. So let's move on to the next feature. These are just filters, and once again, if you want black on white, you can do that. So you can adjust the black and white on each and every image you're editing. So if you want it to look more negative, you can drag the amount way up to look like those 18 the 19s and 18s photos or anything like that. So that is that. Then this is just light leak, but in most cases most people won't be using that, except for the geometry one. The geometry one is cool if you're, let's say, making patterns in an image to make it even way better. So you can use the geometry and see how it plays out in your image. It won't necessarily be great for every image, but it will look better for more of portrait and people in images. So you can do that. Then the rest of these, you won't necessarily be using them because they're way more advanced, and they are for those people who want to play around with, who are experienced in photo editing. But as a beginner, you won't necessarily need to use those. So the frames, they have a bunch of frames here you can play around with. Go ahead and see which one fits your style, your niche, or your company, or your picture, or your project, and it will work for everything. So I'm going to show you how we can add text. So let's do the text. Let's go back to the original version. Boom. Go back a little bit more. Okay, so to add text, click on the A icon right here in the bottom. I hope you can see my screen. It's the A feature down here on the bottom, and you can be able to drag in any text you want and customize it. So this example, we can add in this one by dragging and dropping it in. Then we can say hello today. So you can add text easily like that. Let's say you're creating YouTube thumbnails, you can edit them in Inpixio, download them, and send them over to your hard drive. So it's that simple and easy. You can add stickers or anything like that. So to add the stickers, let's say you're doing a special bonus and you want to add a sticker, so you can just drag that in and boom, paste that over there. Then you can choose to align it on the left, right, whatever. Everything is just simple and basic. That's why I really like Inpixio. You don't need to learn you don't even need to learn Photoshop or anything like that. So it gives you all the basic features, and once again, there will be a link down below if you want to get Inpixio. If you already don't have it, or you're looking for a photo editing software, Inpixio is a great one, and you should play around with it. So it's really great. Then the last feature here at the bottom is just the metadata, the headings, subheadings, whatever. It's that simple. So once again, if you are really on time and you really need help, you can turn on the auto correction and it will fix everything up for you, that and easy. Then you just download it, save it to your hard drive, and move on to the next project. So that is it for this video. If you really like the video, leave me a thumbs up, and if you really hated the video, leave me a thumbs down. And don't forget to subscribe for more software tutorials, demos, reviews, and once again, that is it for this video. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.